what? Sometimes you just have to admit when you're wrong. So let me get this started. I, Jackie Ray, was wrong. But you know what, James Harden? So were you. Greetings and salutations, sports fans. Thanks for checking in with us once again here at The Fumble. I'm your host, Jackie Ray. Do me a favor, head on over to Instagram and Twitter. Follow me at JRayTheFanatic. But while you're here, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And then you too, you do it too, because I know you bashed James Harden just as hard as I did. So go ahead and say it. You were wrong. It's okay to admit it. But let's be clear. We are not alone in this situation. James Harden did everything wrong to get his way. His last 5 games with Houston, he barely got any assists and went from consistently averaging more than 30 points a game to averaging just 17. And that's how he finished in Houston. But let's not overlook how he started this whole I want to be traded tirade. He was completely MIA from Rockets training camp, and when he finally did show up, he had to produce 6 straight negative COVID-19 tests, which further delayed his return. Why did he have to do all this? Well, because he basically gave the NBA the middle finger regarding their COVID protocols that said players had to quarantine outside of trips to team facilities and essential activities. What could be worth breaking these protocols when you know it means you probably can't play? Heading to Vegas and partying with little baby. Or the baby. Was it little baby or the one of the babies? Either way, James Harden acted like a complete baby as well. I know this really isn't sounding like an apology, but it is. So let me continue. The fact of the matter is James Harden is not the first player in NBA history to want to leave. In fact, my very own and beloved Anthony Davis did the exact same thing to the Pelicans, and he had 2 years left on his contract. So why is it that myself and pretty much everyone else does not give AD the flack that we give James Harden? I'm gonna tell you now, no, it's not just because AD joined my king and the Lakers. I mean, it has a little bit to do with that, but not completely. The reality is, your mama told you right from day one. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Same thing here. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And James Harden didn't do any of this right. He started his time in Houston in 2012. Since then, they have made the playoffs every single year and have given him everything he wanted. AD went to the playoffs twice in 7 years. It's not the same. The Rockets really tried everything they possibly could to make things work with James Harden. Hell, John Wall was even there because James Harden said he'd rather play with him than Russell Westbrook. So after all of that, you really have the nerve to say this?
We're just not good enough. We don't obviously chemistry, talent-wise, just everything, and it was clear.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there, but I'm just not, because that's a lot of spoiled, smelly milk under the bridge, so we're just gonna move on. At the end of the day, James Harden got to take his fat suit off and go to Brooklyn just like he wanted. And now we've gone from average scorer, kinda chubby, always looking sad, look like he's eating his sorrows away, James Harden, to, oh, he really can still score more than 30 points a game. He cheers for his teammates, and he's genuinely happy James Harden. Which leads me to my somewhat apology. Obviously, this isn't a complete apology, but I think Dwyane Wade completely nailed it with this tweet. He said, let's talk about this narrative. James Harden looked happy, and there's no price tag for that feeling. Could he have handled things better? Yes, but couldn't we all? I'm happy for this black man. I have to concur. I have been rooting for James Harden since he was wrongfully robbed of the MVP in 2019. Yes, I said it, and I'm not backing down. And come on, check the tapes, guys. I've been saying for a long time that James Harden needed to get out of Houston, but pouting like a child to do it, I never said that. But I will concede that either way, it is good to see James Harden happy. And he obviously appreciated the aforementioned post from Dwyane Wade because he went to his Instagram story and posted this. We all do all of this talking about uplifting the next African-American athlete / male, and some of these ex-NBA players use national TV or their own social media to do the opposite. I see it, I just state to myself, the real never lose. Salute Dwyane Wade for being solid. I can appreciate all that, but boy, bye. This was your say less moment. None of that was warranted. This is not the same as uplifting a black male. I have been uplifting you for a long time, just not your antics. Nonetheless, This is an apology. So I am sorry for bashing you for finding your happiness. I am really excited that you are now happy, and I really am rooting for you. I want the best for you, and above all, I want you to win, and I want you to get that ring in the 2023-2024 season, because that's when LeBron James's contract expires. Don't judge me. That being said, trust and believe, friend, you have bigger fish to fry than to try to spin this narrative that we were just all being negative towards you, because your first night with the Nets, you scored 32, Kevin Durant scored 42, and you only won by 7. Then you scored 34, KD scores 30, and you only beat the Bucks by 2. And then you faced the Cavs. I can't even believe this one went the way that it went. Kyrie's return to the floor, Cavs pay him homage, and then you guys go out there and double overtime and lose. Trust me, my friend, you have bigger fish to fry. But like I said, this is an apology. I'm sorry that I gave you flack. I want you to succeed. Just don't know how that's going to work out. But Fumble fam, how do you feel? Now that Kyrie is back, is this going to be the offensive threat that everybody says it is? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, I'm Jackie Ray. Thanks for watching The Fumble, and we'll see you next time.